The anime begins on Akira's first day at his new job, where he arrives excited. When his boss shows him his office desk, he accidentally bumps into the most attractive person in the office. He freezes at the sight of Sori's cute face. She welcomes him and tells him in a friendly manner that if he needs help, she can lend him a hand, piercing his heart in that instant. Later that evening, Akira and his co-workers go to a restaurant, and while drinking, he notices Sori again. He feels encouraged to impress her because she is completely his type, but at the end of their late-night celebration, instead of going home, everyone suddenly stands up and prepares to go to work. Akira returns to the office. Shocked to find his co-workers working all night, he spends several days there finishing his tasks before finally going home to sleep, realizing that his workplace is an exploitative corporation. During his first year of work, he discovers that workers sleep at the office to finish their assignments, don't have vacations, and payments are always late. In his second year, he wishes a missile would destroy the place, but just then, Akira sees Sori walking up to him with lunch. The only thing keeping him sane is the girl he secretly loves. However, Akira also discovers that every day, Sori is called by the boss to his office so he can take advantage of her. By the third year, the fatigue crushes him, and Akira sinks deeper into depression. Every night before sleeping, he wishes never to wake up. However, the next morning, while preparing for work, he steps outside and notices a warning paper about his subscription. He heads to the building manager to pay it and knocks on the manager's door many times, but there is no answer. The door stands open, so Akira steps inside, only to see a man furiously eating someone. The man lunges at him, forcing Akira to run outside, but outside the apartment, even more people, driven by hunger, chase him. Akira realizes they're zombies for the first time. He understands he doesn't have to go to work anymore, and his world suddenly bursts into color. Feeling free, he jumps from the apartment and runs away from the zombies with a smile, remembering how vibrant the world can be and realizing the zombie outbreak has granted him his first day off. Overjoyed, he starts thinking of things to do on his unexpected vacation and then remembers Sori. Akira wonders if she is okay, and he doesn't care if she's someone else's secret baby mama, as he just wants to see her. He heads to her apartment, determined to express his feelings even while the building is swarming with zombies. When he arrives at her front door, nerves hit him as he wonders what to say. He rings the bell but gets no answer, so he opens the door and notices a pair of men's shoes already inside. Suddenly, his boss appears in his underwear, already transformed into a zombie. Akira declares he's quitting his job because of how depressing it is and, mustering his courage, shoves his boss through the window, defeating him. Exhausted, he barely catches his breath when Sori suddenly appears. He breaks down, realizing she has also become a zombie after getting down and dirty with the chopped boss. In tears, he confesses his feelings to her but can't bring himself to harm her. Instead, he runs away, forced apart from the woman he loves. That evening, Akira rests at a convenience store. He buys a drink and savors how refreshing it tastes, realizing he never has to go to work again, but also that he might die at any moment. Inside the store, he begins writing a list of 100 things he wants to do before he dies or becomes a zombie. Days later, Akira dreams of getting yelled at by his coworker about finishing his job until it is done, and Akira works so hard that his hands and his coworkers' heads bleed. Suddenly, he wakes up and realizes it is all a dream. He notices that he no longer has to go to work because of the zombie apocalypse, and the thought excites him. He is so thrilled that he decides to clean his filthy room, something he hasn't done in years. As he tidies up, Akira realizes he hasn't felt this kind of excitement for a long time, and seeing his room clean eases his mind. Then he grabs a can of beer and drinks it immediately, happy that he can enjoy something so good while skipping work. While drinking, Akira watches the news and learns that all of Tokyo is in trouble because of the zombie outbreak. He wonders about the future, but decides to worry later, preferring to slack off and drink more beer. He checks his fridge for more. He is shocked to find out he has run out. Forced into a beer run, he looks outside his apartment and sees how wrecked everything is. Meanwhile, in the next building, a couple panics about what to do in the future. The guy tries to calm the girl, but her stress and panic only make him panic too. He steps out to the balcony to think, and is shocked to see Akira climbing down beside it. Akira introduces himself and explains that he needs to climb down their balcony because his own stairway is full of zombies. The guy offers to let him inside, but Akira politely refuses, saying he has to reach the convenience store. The couple is stunned, but then they ask Akira to grab some supplies for them while he is on his beer run. Akira sets off to the store on a bike and notices that the number of zombies has grown since yesterday. He knows that if he gets surrounded, he could die, but he doesn't care as he just needs that beer. When he arrives, he feels happy even singing a song, but inside, Akira is surprised to see a girl survivor. He immediately notices how pretty she is and feels embarrassed, remembering that he was singing weirdly just before. He tries small talk, explaining why he is there, but she doesn't respond. Before leaving, he offers to exchange contacts, but she refuses his request, telling him he clearly doesn't analyze risk, as he is just grabbing beer while ignoring survival essentials like a complete idiotic buffoon. Before Akira can respond, zombies burst into the store. He immediately tries to protect the girl, but she puts him to the ground just as a truck smashes into the store, mowing down the zombies and saving them both. The girl leaves on a bike without saying much, and Akira can't believe he just met someone so badass and beautiful. As he steps outside, zombies start chasing him. His bicycle is destroyed by the truck, and he doesn't know how to return home, but he sees an abandoned scooter in the street. Excited, he thinks of it as an upgrade that helps him outrun zombies, but he realizes he can get an even better upgrade when he spots a Harley left with its keys still inside. Grinning, Akira hops on, riding back with speed while almost dying in the process. Eventually, Akira arrives at his apartment. He climbs to his neighbor's balcony, reflecting on how fulfilled his day has been. But when he checks on the couple from earlier with their supplies, he discovers that the place was attacked and they are dead. At midnight, Akira drinks the beer he brought back while watching the news. He realizes life is short and that he has to do more before dying. So he opens his 100-list notebook and writes down a few wishes, like climbing a mountain and meeting his idol, Johnny Sins. Halfway through, he pauses to think about his parents, then adds a wish to go back home to spend time with them, ending his wish list at 33 wishes. Meanwhile, the day Akira went on a beer run, the hot and badass girl he met woke up in her own apartment. She immediately starts her treadmill workout and consumes protein. While jogging, she hears the news confirming the zombie apocalypse. Determined, the badass creates her own 100 list, hers being survival rules, much like the one in Zombieland. She then watches several zombie movies to study different types. To complete her preparations, she decides to observe the zombies around her apartment and realizes that if she faces multiple types at once, her survival chances drop dramatically. Knowing she must gather resources, she rides her bike to a convenience store and sets up her camera to scout for zombies nearby. While collecting supplies, she spots a sweet Sakura Machi. Tempted, she almost grabs it but stops, remembering one of her rules: minimize sugar intake. Just then, her sensors notify her that someone else is nearby. She investigates and is surprised to see another survivor, Akira. When he walks into the store, she stays calm and watches his reaction. She quickly realizes he is harmless but feels disappointed to see him collecting beer instead of essentials. Soon, zombies gather outside, drawn there because of him. When Akira tries to help her, the zombies burst in. Akira tries to protect her, but she swiftly puts him down on the ground, and a truck plows through some zombie victims as planned. The badass leaves the store astonished that someone as reckless as Akira could survive this long. Relieved to have survived and secured supplies, she later reviews her camera footage to analyze zombie behavior, but then she comes across the recording of Akira, seeing him smiling and happily drinking beer in the middle of the apocalypse. The sight surprises her and makes her regret not taking that Sakura Machi to enjoy her life like him a little. Somewhere in Shinjuku's night market, inside a host club, their number one host, Sho, and his coworkers try to calm a girl who is crying because she lost her parents. Sho offers her treats to ease her sorrow, but she won't stop crying. Then Sho's friend comes and informs him that zombies are surrounding the place. Sho politely tells the girl that he has to do something and must leave her alone, but she shakes uncontrollably. Noticing this, Sho promises he will come back for her, which calms her down. Then Sho and his friends take weapons and Molotovs, preparing to defend the area from zombies. The horde closes in, and during the fight, one of them is injured and infected. While that battle rages, Akira rides into Shinjuku on his motorcycle. He is shocked at how crowded the city is with zombies, but none of it stops him as he is looking for his best friend, Kincho. A few hours earlier, Akira wakes up and notices his beard starting to grow. He tries to find inspiration to grow it since quitting his job makes him want to try new things on his bucket list. After sketching a fake beard on his face, he decides to delete the idea and remain clean-shaven. Then his phone pings with a friend request notification. Excited, Akira checks the app to see who is online. He waits for hours, but boredom sets in as he realizes there aren't many survivors left. Suddenly, he remembers Kincho. He feels certain his old best friend is still alive, convinced of Kincho's strength and resilience. Meanwhile, inside a club, Kincho peeks into the hallway and sees it full of zombies. Thirsty, he drinks his last bottle of water. Frustrated after days without food, what frustrates him most is that the girl he rented to get freaky with is now infected and turned into a zombie inside the room. Fortunately, Kincho's fondness for handcuffs has her tied down, preventing her from moving. Starving and weary, Kincho suddenly remembers Akira, who used to laugh at all his bad jokes. Suddenly, his phone rings and he answers, shocked to hear Akira alive and well. Akira chats with him, telling him to cheer up, speaking so calmly that Kincho is stunned. Kincho explains he is trapped in Shinjuku and that no one can save him because of the surrounding zombies. But Akira doesn't care and tells Kincho to text him the address, hanging up before Kincho can object. Driving to Shinjuku, Akira recalls his past with Kincho. In college, Kincho was popular, but that never stopped them from bonding. Years later, Kincho became a successful estate agent while Akira was stuck in his soul-crushing job. At a reunion dinner, Kincho bragged about his personal life, frustrating Akira. Kincho warned him to quit his job, but Akira lashed out, accusing him of showing off, which strained their friendship. Now Akira regrets spending years in a job he hated, and saving Kincho feels like a chance to relive their old days of fun. Back in Shinjuku, Sho is the last survivor. He accepts his fate, thinking it a noble way to die after all he has done. As a zombie lunges toward him, a car horn suddenly blares, luring all the zombies away, and Sho can't believe he is still alive. The zombies from Kincho's hotel are also drawn to the sound, surrounding the car, which then explodes. It was Akira who triggered it. Hearing the noise, Kincho steps into the hallway and is stunned to find it clear of zombies. He searches for a safe place, but is suddenly greeted by Akira, which shocks him. Akira loudly apologizes for their fight, admitting his jealousy of Kincho's success and confessing he regrets not taking his advice. Kincho is speechless, confused that Akira came all this way just to apologize. Before he can respond, zombies burst into the hotel. Due to Akira's loud apology, the two are forced to flee to the roof. With time running out, Kincho panics, convinced it is the end, but Akira has another plan. He tells Kincho they must jump across to the next building. Kincho thinks it's impossible, but Akira leaps anyway, hitting the ground with bruises but surviving. He urges Kincho to follow, and terrified, Kincho admits he can't jump. He confesses he hates his job, revealing that behind the smiles and flashy lifestyle, he feels empty. All his wealth and success are a facade, as he never liked being an estate agent, and what he really wanted was to be a stand-up comedian. Akira encourages him, telling him that as his friend, he must listen to advice this time. He urges Kincho to quit his job and leap toward his true dream. Kincho finally understands. Taking a few steps back, he sprints and jumps as the zombies nearly grab him. The wind rips his clothes, leaving him embarrassingly exposed, and Akira bursts into laughter at the sight. Midair, Kincho realizes he won't make it, clinging desperately to the ledge. He calls out to Akira, begging for help. Just as he's about to fall, Akira suddenly grabs his hand and hauls him up. Kincho survives, though injured. Akira worries he's been bitten, but Kincho explains that he got scraped on his jingleberries. That evening, the two chill in their birthday suits on a roof, drinking beers. They laugh about work, life, and their futures. Kincho admits he admires Akira, seeing him as someone who quit his job, embraced freedom, and might even succeed in a zombie apocalypse, but both laugh off the idea, knowing they can't save the world. Days later, still on the rooftop while Akira plays zombie games, Kincho cooks their delicious lunch. Akira and Kincho agree that doing a stay-at-home camping in the middle of Tokyo is a great idea. Then, after Akira finishes gaming, they go to eat their lunch. Akira is surprised by Kincho's cooking and feels jealous because Kincho tells him that cooking is the key to getting girls. Akira swears to Kincho that he is going to get a girl to prove him wrong, and despite the zombie apocalypse, Kincho still wishes him good luck. After lunch, Akira goes back to playing more games while Kincho reads Akira's 100 bucket list. Kincho feels that Akira's mind is still hungover from work when he wrote the list because the things he wrote are out of this world. Then Kincho writes a bunch of his own bucket list items because Akira hasn't written 100 yet. Akira tries to stop him, but Kincho reminds him that if Akira hadn't saved him, he could have died in a random love hotel in Shinjuku. Hearing this, Akira lets Kincho write his bucket list. Then Akira writes that he wants to have a mega television, so they decide to go look for one. While on their way, Akira asks Kincho why he wants to be a stand-up comic. Kincho explains that even though he is still far away from becoming one, it has always been his dream since childhood. Akira then wonders what his own childhood dream was and feels confused about whether working in an office could count as one. Akira stops his motorcycle when they hit a dead end as they face a path full of fire. Even though the television store is within reach, suddenly a fuel truck starts creating chaos, sending cars flying. Akira and Kincho are cornered, and Kincho starts yelling at Akira to do something. Knowing the truck will explode once it reaches them, Akira weighs the risks, then remembers the hot badass and comes up with an idea. While the truck barrels toward them, Akira rides up a ramp, dodging it just in time. He then heads into the underground mall to shield them from the explosion caused by the truck's gas tank. Kincho can't believe Akira thought of something like that, but when they arrive inside the underground mall, they find themselves surrounded by zombies. They spot a store nearby, so they abandon the motorcycle and rush inside, quickly closing the gate to block the zombies. Kincho panics and can't believe how calm Akira remains, still thinking about televisions at such a critical time. Just as they catch their breath, a group of girls suddenly appears. The girls flash their lights on them and sigh in relief, realizing Akira and Kincho aren't infected. One of the girls starts panicking about being trapped, but Kincho calms her, encouraging her to think positively. His words inspire the group, and they head to the alcohol section to drink. Everyone takes drinks and snacks to ease their minds. Akira and Kincho share a look, realizing they've just completed their wine and dine bucket list. Soon the girls introduce themselves as Reika, Maki, and Yukari, who are all flight attendants. Akira and Kincho feel amazed by their luck as their bucket list is to wine and dine with flight attendants. Akira tries to talk to Yukari, asking if she has a boyfriend. However, Yukari doesn't like that he asks something like that in such a dire situation. Embarrassed, Akira turns to Kincho for help, but to his surprise, Kincho is already flirting with Maki, and unlike Akira, Kincho's humor is really hitting Maki deep. Jealous of Kincho's humor and looks, Akira remembers what Kincho said at lunch about cooking and girls. Determined to impress, Akira boldly introduces himself to the group and chugs an entire bottle of tequila. Amused, Reika joins him with more alcohol, and soon the group becomes livelier because of Akira's reckless stunt. Later, Kincho and Maki sneak to the bedroom section for some intimate time. Meanwhile, Akira stumbles into the bathroom to puke. As he is sick over the sink, Yukari comes in to help him. Akira is surprised by Yukari's kindness and begins to think she might have feelings for him. She admits she is worried about him for drinking so much, but then reveals she already has a boyfriend she wants to see again soon. Akira feels disappointed but grateful for the brief moment he could dream. Meanwhile, Reika drinks heavily and begins ranting about her problems. The dude in the group, already bitten by a zombie, grows worse. He crawls toward Reika while she is too drunk to notice, and suddenly he attacks her, causing her to scream. Kincho, hearing it, wants to go help, but Maki drunkenly clings to him, asking for another round. He insists and drags her along, only to find Reika has already turned into a zombie. In horror, he watches Reika attack and eat Maki. Kincho blames himself for letting someone die, but grows more alarmed when he realizes the bitten man has vanished. Meanwhile, Akira and Yukari sit together in the stairwell, talking about her flight attendant job. Akira relates by opening up about his office job, telling her that working was only ever a borrowed dream. Yukari admits she didn't enjoy her job either, but after Akira asks her what her real dream was, she begins to reflect on it positively. Suddenly, the bitten man ambushes them and bites Yukari. Akira pushes him down the stairs, but Yukari tells Akira to leave her behind. Akira refuses, unable to abandon her so soon after connecting. Yukari explains why she rubbed his back, because when she was a child, a flight attendant did the same to calm her during a flight, and from that moment she was inspired to become one, realizing it had been her dream all along. Akira cries as she says her last words. The bitten man returns and attacks again, but Yukari sacrifices herself to hold him off. Akira runs away, sobbing, until he finds Kincho. Relieved, Akira learns that Kincho has found a mega television. They realize they need to leave quickly because everyone inside is now infected. They rush outside, finding the streets free of zombies, and hurry home with their prize. That evening, while Kincho makes dinner, he talks about how traumatized he feels after losing the flight attendants. Meanwhile, Akira reflects on Kincho and Yukari's words about childhood dreams. With newfound resolve, Akira writes a new item on his bucket list, which is to remember his childhood dream. When Akira was a little kid, he once saved his friend's dog from a couple of guys. He called himself Akira, the superhero of justice who is unafraid of anything, but then he wakes up and realizes it is a dream. He sees his bucket list, which reminds him of his childhood dream. That evening, Kincho informs Akira that all of Japan is not safe. However, some villages manage to isolate themselves in Hokkaido, which means Akira's family could still be alive. Then, Kincho decides he wants to go blonde and says that he wants to move on from his past life, inspired by Akira's aspirations, and he also wants to look good to pursue his dream of becoming a comic artist. Seeing Kincho with blonde hair, Akira remembers what Kincho and Yukari said about childhood dreams. Suddenly, Akira tells Kincho that he wants to become a superhero. He explains that he always wanted to be like Batman or Spider-Man, having people in a cool costume without reward. He says that he wants to help people no matter what, and his core idea is to become a superhero who save humanity from zombies. Kincho is surprised by Akira's excitement but supports him wholeheartedly. Although Akira can't fly or shoot webs, he has already researched how to beat zombies. Together, Kincho and Akira head to the aquarium, thrilled because they can access the back rooms. Kincho feels uneasy as the aquarium is in poor condition and could collapse any day. While exploring, Akira finds what he needs, a special spandex suit, and he spray paints it into a superhero costume. Meanwhile, in the city, a group of survivors is trapped inside a bus that has run out of gas. They panic, debating what to do, but the driver suggests waiting for the zombies to leave. Suddenly, one passenger turns out to be infected and attacks the others. The group is forced off the bus only to be surrounded by zombies. One girl manages to break away and runs toward the aquarium. Chased by a horde, she trips, and just as a zombie lunges for her, Akira appears and saves her. Akira beams with excitement and asks Kincho what he thinks of the costume, but Kincho shrugs, unsure what to say. It turns out that the diving suit he got was built strong enough to resist shark bites, making him invulnerable to zombies. More survivors begin arriving at the aquarium, and to Akira's shock, the hot lady from before is among them. Determined to impress her, he throws himself into action. While Kincho helps guide survivors inside, Akira faces down a zombie, but he struggles as one manages to bite his arm. The suit prevents the bite from breaking skin, but he still feels the pressure. Soon, more zombies appear and overwhelm him. Akira calls out for Kincho, but Kincho refuses, knowing there is only one suit and trusting Akira will be fine. Eventually, Akira hurls the zombies off a bridge, but when he glances up, he sees the lady watching him in disgust, unimpressed that he is cosplaying like an idiot in such a situation. Inside, the survivors rest. The girl Akira saved is relieved and grateful, and Kincho compliments Akira for being a decent hero. Noticing Akira staring at the lady, he encourages him to talk to her. Akira approaches and reminds the lady that they met at the convenience store, and she remembers his goofy face but remains unimpressed. When Akira asks to exchange contacts, she critiques his reckless actions of playing a hero, calling Akira's behavior a sign of low self-esteem and a coping mechanism to cover it up by becoming a hero. Kincho tries to defend him but becomes intimidated after hearing her logic. Suddenly, a loud noise echoes through the aquarium. Akira and Kincho rush to investigate, finding water leaking into the hallway. To their horror, a great white shark appears, but this one has legs. They warn the others, sparking panic as the shark smashes through the aquarium walls, confusing Akira. The lady explains that the shark must have eaten infected divers, and the parasites inside are controlling it. The group flees upstairs, but zombies block the emergency exit. The lady recalls the layout from earlier and guides them toward another exit. As they run, the not-so-baby shark bursts into the room, tearing through zombies. The girl Akira rescued earlier panics, but the lady calms her until the girl suddenly shoves the lady aside and bolts for safety, leaving the lady behind. Kincho and the others escape through the emergency exit, but Akira notices that the lady hasn't followed. He immediately goes back for her while Kincho struggles to reopen the jammed door. The lady admits she hates traveling in large groups, believing they only increase the risk of her dying. As the shark charges her, Akira bursts in and spears the giant deranged sushi. The lady calls him stupid for risking himself, but Akira insists that if he meets a cute girl, he wants to know her, and if he sees someone in danger, he wants to save them. He says that is what it means to be a hero. With no plan, the two are forced to run in circles from the shark. The lady thinks of a strategy but needs Akira to take a risk, and he boldly agrees. They split up, Akira distracting the shark while the lady searches for equipment. She remembers reading that sharks have a weakness to strong electricity and races to find batteries. Akira narrowly dodges the shark's attacks but eventually stumbles and falls. Cornered, he braces himself. Just then, Kincho reappears, showing the shark his starfish to distract it and buy them time. The shark nearly devours Kincho, but Akira challenges it directly, summoning courage like a true hero facing his nemesis. The lady rushes back with working batteries, handing them to Akira. As the shark lunges, Akira activates the batteries and punches it square in the face, defeating it once and for all. With the monster slain, Akira, Kincho, and the lady regroup while the other survivors split from them. Akira crosses another item off his bucket list to becoming a superhero. Knowing that he did that, Kincho teases that he makes a great team with the lady, which embarrasses him. As they walk together, the lady notices Akira's 100-item bucket list notebook. She pauses and reveals she has her own list, not of dreams, but of strict rules to ensure she will survive. She explains her different objectives, saying they make her unfit for Akira's carefree lifestyle, but Akira tells her he doesn't care and that she is important to him. He saved her not to impress her, but simply because he wanted to, and his sincerity makes her fold. Later, when Akira and Kincho prepare to leave on their bike, the lady tells them she'll be fine on her own and plans to find another safe place. But before they go, she hands Akira her number, and he happily accepts it, finally knowing that her name is Shizuka. Finally getting the lady's contact, Akira feels elated. His life is improving, and with Kincho by his side, he decides that they should go to Gunma to find his parents. Later, Akira and Kincho go to a watch store where Akira finds an expensive watch. Akira decides to steal it because it is the zombie apocalypse, but then Kincho shows Akira that he has found an even more expensive watch. Both of them put on suits and wear the watches to complete one of their bucket list items. At midnight, Akira and Kincho realize that they are out of water and all the electricity in Tokyo is down. They have already charged their phones, but they can't watch the news or get updates, and they know they have to get serious. But Akira tells Kincho to look up at the stars, and both are amazed by how bright the stars look in Tokyo now that the city lights are out. Seeing the stars makes Akira think of his parents, and Kincho comforts him by saying that they are still alive. Akira agrees because their next journey is to his hometown Gunma. The next morning, Akira and Kincho pack their things to prepare for the trip. After packing, Akira goes to his old room and says goodbye to his college and office life for the last time. They get ready to head to Gunma, where Akira reveals it will take hours of riding to get there, but before leaving, he says he wants to steal something. Kincho thinks Akira means a real gun so he can exercise his Second Amendment rights, but Akira reveals he wants an RV, a place where two bros can sleep, cook, ride, and cuddle during the zombie apocalypse. Both agree with the idea, so they go to an RV place where they run into Shizuka. Akira is surprised to see Shizuka there and feels that they are meant to be together since this is the third time they have met by coincidence. Kincho and Akira realize that Shizuka is planning to leave Tokyo, so Akira asks her to come to Gunma with them. Shizuka refuses, saying she doesn't see any benefit in teaming up with these idiots because she doesn't think she has enough of a reason to join. Akira feels heartbroken hearing this. Kincho then asks her what she is doing there. Shizuka explains that she has watched hundreds of zombie movies and knows that an RV is a great way to travel. Akira gets excited that she shares the same idea and asks her again to join them, but she refuses once more. Kincho then checkmates her by pointing out that she doesn't have a driver's license, meaning she could hurt herself while traveling alone. Akira agrees, telling her that traveling together is safer and more fun, especially with someone who knows how to drive, which forces Shizuka to join them. They all go inside the RV place, amazed by the many different models. While the guys look at RVs, Shizuka examines which one would actually be best for a zombie apocalypse. She eventually finds a suitable off-road model that can easily bypass zombies. When she goes to show them, however, Akira and Kincho have already chosen the most expensive RV. Akira loves it because it has everything he could want, but Shizuka disagrees, pointing out that it is too big to pass through abandoned cars on the road. She then points to the one she chose, but Kincho urges her to have a little fun, guessing that she must have a favorite RV herself. She thinks that it's stupid to have fun, but Shizuka spots an RV with a Bali-style luxury interior and immediately falls in love. Kincho teases her for falling in love with an RV, but as they argue about which RV to take, zombies suddenly burst into the dealership, forcing the trio to grab the nearest RV and escape immediately. Akira and Shizuka drive the RV while Kincho rides the motorbike on the highway. Akira notices how quiet everything feels. Shizuka explains that maybe people didn't have time to escape because the virus spread too quickly. She says that the only thing capable of making people aggressive like zombies is a virus, and that somewhere out there people must be working on a vaccine. But despite this, Shizuka admits she doesn't care much because her job and her group are barely surviving as it is. After hours of driving, Gunma comes into view. Akira feels exhausted and suggests they stop at the next truck stop, making it their first night in the RV. Suddenly, the RV's and the chopper's tires explode after hitting spike strips laid on the highway. Akira is shocked and rushes to check on Kincho, who is hurt from falling off the chopper. But then buses pull up, and Akira is stunned to see his old, annoying, ugly coworker, Gansu. Seeing Gansu with his baseball team makes Akira remember how much Gansu contributed to his depression back when he worked in the office. Gansu tells Akira that he is impressed that a guy like him could survive an apocalypse. Akira feels relieved Gansu is alive too, until he suddenly doubles over in stomach pain. Gansu then tells Akira that his bus has everything needed for the RV, but Akira has to work for him for 2 days in exchange. Hearing the offer makes Akira tremble with fear, since it feels like falling back into his old depressing routine. Shizuka notices Akira shaking and confronts Gansu, accusing him of manipulating people to do his dirty work so he can loot them, but Akira and his friends are cornered with zombies starting to close in. Afraid and pressured, Akira accepts Gansu's offer, which makes Gansu grin with satisfaction. They are then brought to the truck stop that Gansu controls. At the truck stop, Akira sees that Gansu has workers who look exhausted and depressed. Gansu appears and tells Akira that they've known each other a long time, and he believes Akira won't feel tired doing this work. Meanwhile, Shizuka tends to Kincho's injuries. Kincho blames himself for forcing Akira into a job he hates, but Shizuka reassures him it isn't his fault and says they should wait and see if Akira really only works for 2 days. The next day, Akira moves boxes and feels like he is back at his old office job, but he tries to stay positive, reminding himself he wants to change. Then he discovers boxes of beer in a cargo truck and decides to put them in a fridge, thinking he can cheer up the tired workers with a party at night. Suddenly, Gansu walks in and yells at him for doing this, terrifying Akira, but then Gansu's friends arrive and see the beers in the fridge. They assume Gansu provided them and praise him for being generous. Gansu plays along and declares that they will have a little party to welcome Akira, which makes Akira furious inside. Later, Akira notices that Gansu is using zombies as workers. Gansu explains that zombies can be great equipment if handled properly, and then tells Akira that he is also nothing more than equipment like the zombies as long as he stays quiet and follows orders. Hearing this makes Akira lose himself to the routine, blinded by work again, until he starts moving like a zombie himself. Meanwhile, Kincho tries to figure out why Gansu speaks to Akira that way. However, Shizuka knows immediately, as Gansu reminds her of her father who used to abuse her, and she realizes that both she and Akira are haunted by the fear left behind by abusive people who once controlled their lives. When Gansu's party starts, Shizuka remembers her past with her father. She once found a dog left on the streets, so she brought it home only for her father to tell her to get rid of it. He didn't want her to waste time on a dog as he wanted her to spend her life succeeding instead. Shizuka eventually had to get rid of the dog because her father warned her that she could be abandoned like the dog. Gansu's party begins, and his friends drink cold beers to welcome Akira and his group. But Akira doesn't join them because Gansu forces him to work as a waiter. When Gansu's friends run out of beer, Akira immediately serves them, but he feels scared because it reminds him of his old office job. Then, when Gansu runs out of beer, he is served by an old woman, which makes him furious because he only wants to be served by hot chicks. He orders Shizuka to serve him instead, and as Shizuka pours his drink, Gansu notices her figure. He tells her to have a drink with him, and when she does, she chugs the entire bottle on her own. Gansu is impressed, joking crudely that beer isn't the only thing he wants her to swallow, and then orders Akira to bring him more. Akira accidentally serves him an empty bottle, which makes Gansu furious. He yells at Akira, traumatizing him. As Akira stands frozen, Shizuka sits silently, remembering her past and how Gansu reminds her of her father. After Shizuka is born, everything she does is based on the forceful expectations of her father, a feared financier who dictates her every choice. Shizuka never gets rid of the abandoned dog. She secretly takes care of it, even studying medical books about animals, and the dog grows close to her. One day, she tells her father she wants to become a doctor, but he dismisses her, pointing out only the negatives and even informs her that he has put the dog down for her, which breaks her heart. As she grows older, her father continues to tell her what is good and what is bad, constantly reminding her that he supports her luxurious life. Gansu's words about staying silent and following orders strike deeply, reminding her of her father, the reason she is who she is now. The day after the welcoming party, Shizuka sees Akira being yelled at again by Gansu. Akira accidentally drops supplies, which enrages Gansu, who blames Akira for everything, leaving him confused. Then, after shouting at him, Gansu suddenly compliments him, telling Akira that freedom is hard because it forces him to think for himself. But living under Gansu is easier as he only needs to obey orders and life will continue smoothly. Shizuka immediately recognizes Gansu's manipulation, echoing her own past. Her father once told her that if she wanted to win, she had to follow his orders, claiming everything was for her benefit, but she knows now it was always for his. While everyone rests, Shizuka accidentally drops Akira's backpack and finds his bucket list book. She flips through it, smiling at how strange Akira is, before writing something inside herself. The next day, Gansu's friends return from the city with supplies, but one of them accidentally brings a zombie inside a cargo truck. Back at the truck stop, Akira's 2-day contract ends, and Kensho apologizes to him for the trouble. To their shock, Akira decides to stay, manipulated by Gansu. Akira admits he is afraid to live outside and prefers the safety Gansu provides. Kensho finds this strange since Akira isn't like that, but as Shizuka tells Kensho, they need to leave him as it is Akira's choice. However, as they prepare to leave, Akira insists he has to repay Gansu's kindness, which infuriates Shizuka, reminding her again of her father. She yells at Akira, calling him blind, and explains that Gansu is manipulating him to fulfill his endless desires. She reveals that she was once the same, but Akira opened her eyes to live freely by her own will. She declares that she wants to leave Gansu behind with everything she can, shocking everyone. She challenges Akira, asking if he is a zombie or a human, because she knows he still wants to complete his bucket list. Shizuka hands Akira his book, where he sees that she has written an entry about telling his annoying boss to choke on a gizzy. Gansu is annoyed, knowing women would do something like this, but when he sees the bucket list, he grabs it and stomps on it. As Gansu is about to crush his book, Akira recalls the list he has already completed and the joy they gave him, which snaps him out of his daze. He lunges to protect the book, shocking Gansu. Akira then declares that he is leaving because he still has things left to do. He apologizes for the supposed debt but refuses to stay any longer, and Gansu's friends are stunned to see Akira break free of the manipulation. Suddenly, the cargo truck arrives, and the driver boasts of bringing good supplies. But when he opens it, a zombie lunges out, throwing the truck's stop into chaos. Gansu tries to calm everyone, saying it is only one zombie, but panic spreads. A bus driver, terrified, crashes through the truck stop, accidentally freeing the zombie prisoners that Gansu kept. They attack the workers, forcing Akira, Kensho, and Shizuka to climb on top of the RVs. Kensho tries to save someone but fails, and realizing he can't save everyone in the chaos, Akira then sees Gansu being chased by zombies and instantly comes up with a plan, asking Gansu's goons to help him. In that moment, Gansu falls, and as the zombies close in, Akira barrels in with a food truck, rescuing him. Kensho can't believe Akira is saving someone like Gansu, but Akira explains that letting a hopeless man get eaten isn't on his bucket list, so he has to save him. Gansu scrambles onto the truck, and his men surround the zombies with cargo vehicles, trapping them. Akira leaps to safety with Gansu and ignites the horde with gasoline and a flare, burning them all. Everyone cheers, amazed at Akira's heroism. Akira walks to Shizuka, and the two laugh together at his reckless stunt. Suddenly, Gansu stands and urges his workers to look up to Akira and work harder like him, but everyone revolts, telling him they've had enough. They call him a dictator and claim Akira is a far better leader. Gansu begs them to stay, but no one listens. One by one, they leave, abandoning him to cry alone in the truck stop. Akira, Shizuka, and Kincho continue their journey, and on the road, Akira admits to Shizuka that he blanked out when Gansu was around. He confesses that work is exhausting and that he needs to find a job he actually loves. But Shizuka reassures him that he doesn't need to rush, as new jobs will always be created and all he needs to do is enjoy both life and work. Akira smiles and agrees. Then Akira, Kincho, and Shizuka finally arrive at Gunma. While resting by the waterway, Akira asks them if they know about mindfulness. Shizuka answers and explains that it is something often asked about in corporate jobs. Akira reveals that he wants to keep that mentality, but Kincho is confused about what Akira's statement has to do with the sub-yoga they are doing. The trio continues their journey to Gunma, and Akira is happy because he manages to complete a bunch of his bucket list items before getting there. He thinks he can finish the entire list within a month, but Shizuka reminds him that only if he doesn't get interrupted. On the road, they see zombies surrounding a truck. They assume a survivor is stuck inside because the wheels exploded, so they decide to save them. Akira is excited because it means he can use his superhero costume again. As Akira introduces himself to the zombies, the survivor suddenly jumps out of the truck and defeats them like she's from Ghost of Tsushima. The survivor wears a samurai costume and uses samurai weapons with incredible skill. The trio is amazed, and Shizuka even thinks it feels like a drama. After defeating all the zombies, the survivor introduces herself as Beatrix. Kincho is surprised to see she is a foreigner, and Beatrix explains that she is from Germany and is on holiday in Japan because she loves the culture. Shizuka is impressed that Beatrix even thinks of samurai armor. When Akira opens the truck, he is shocked to see it filled with fish. Beatrix sees them as good help and asks them to deliver the fish with her to Takasaki. Kincho and Shizuka consider it, thinking she wants to deliver the fish to survivors, but Beatrix explains further that since childhood, she has been fascinated with Japanese culture. She saved money to travel to Japan, but when she arrived, the zombie apocalypse had already begun. She survives by relying on her passion, and she wants to deliver the fish to Takasaki because she was told the last sushi chef is still alive there. Kincho and Shizuka are surprised at her reasoning, but Akira suddenly stands up and agrees to help because it fits one of his bucket list items. On the road to meet the chef, Akira is amazed to see Gunma. Beatrix explains that she talked to the sushi chef 3 days ago and hopes that Teisho is still alive. Their journey stops when they see an army of zombies blocking the way. Akira and Beatrix prepare to fight, but they have no plan. Shizuka recalls the map she studied earlier and devises a strategy. The group traps the zombies in the middle of the road with a truck, and when the zombies are distracted, they throw bottles of alcohol at them. The next step is to light them on fire, but the matches won't spark. More zombies appear, climbing the truck and approaching their RV. Beatrix panics, but Akira tells her that fear is just an excuse to not act, and he refuses to stop his journey. He would rather become a zombie than abandon his dream of eating sushi in a nice restaurant. His words move Beatrix, reminding her of her childhood fascination with Japanese culture. She joins Akira in fighting and declares she will never fear again. Together they fight the zombies swarming the RV. When they are cornered, music suddenly blares from a drone. Beatrix notices it is her Walkman borrowed by Shizuka. Earlier, Shizuka prepared a plan B of using the drone to lure zombies to one spot, then letting Kincho burn them with a Molotov. The plan works, and the zombies are destroyed. That night, they arrive at the last sushi chef's restaurant. Akira, Kincho, and Shizuka are amazed by the sushi he prepares. While Beatrix hesitates after seeing the others enjoy it, she dips her sushi in soy sauce and eats. Tears stream down her face at the bittersweet taste, making the chef cry as well. The chef admits he never took a day off, not even for his daughter's wedding or his wife's funeral. But seeing them enjoy his sushi, he realizes they may be his last customers, so he offers them all-you-can-drink sake in celebration. The next day, Beatrix experiences her first Japanese heat wave. Kincho and Shizuka complain about needing a hot water bath, so Akira takes them to a hot spring. The scenery amazes them. After changing, Kincho and Akira notice Beatrix wearing a man's kimono while still serving fan service, which makes Shizuka jealous. Kincho shifts the conversation to love, which makes Akira think of Shizuka. He says the place is better when shared with someone you are dating, but Shizuka disagrees, insisting dating is a waste of time and a poor investment. She believes time should go into improving skills and gaining promotions. Then Akira is confused, but lets it go as they move to the baths. Akira and Kincho enjoy the men's bath, while Beatrix reveals that the women's bath has no water due to a broken pump. The guys act cool, hoping that the girls join them so they can get themselves some gooning material. Shizuka refuses, calling them disgusting, but Beatrix insists the Japanese culture says otherwise. She undresses, stunning the guys, and is ready to join the lads when zombies emerge from the men's bath. The group flees, climbing a cliff to escape, and they cry over losing their hot spring moment. At midnight, Akira wakes up thirsty and hears water. He discovers a natural hot spring in the mountains and jumps in. To his shock, Shizuka is already there. Embarrassed, they face each other in birthday suits, and Shizuka tries to kick him out, but Akira insists that chilling in a hot bath is on his bucket list. Shizuka reluctantly stays, and they sit apart in the water, embarrassed. Shizuka apologizes for dismissing his view on love, admitting her father's disapproval influenced her words. She opens up about herself, surprising Akira. She smiles, saying she is bad at romance, but if she falls in love, she wants to fall for someone she can be open with like she is now. They both blush heavily, realizing what Shizuka just said, and she quickly tries to explain herself. Just as Akira tries to say something, Kincho and Beatrix arrive. Kincho teases them about hooking up, making them even more embarrassed. Then he joins, not wanting to third wheel, and Beatrix also undresses and joins in, completing another bucket list item, enjoying time in a hot spring bath. Years ago, before Akira goes to Tokyo, he speaks to his father about his needs. His father tells him the man who has no dream is nothing compared to a jellyfish. But Akira doesn't listen because his father is a lowly country farmer. Akira and his group continue their journey to Gunma, where Kincho prepares a one-liner to impress Akira's parents. Akira is nervous about meeting them because it has been years since he last saw them, and their previous meeting was awkward due to their differing opinions about his office job. He knows it will be awkward again and worries about what they will say when they learn he quit. Suddenly, Akira stops the RV because the tunnel road to his hometown is blocked. He gets out to check, and to his shock, an army of zombies waits behind the blockade. Akira's village lies just beyond the tunnel, and despite his excitement, Beatrix assumes the village is gone. But after Akira looks through the tunnel, he feels no one he knows is there. Shizuka senses what Akira is feeling and suggests they take the forest route. They enter the forest to get to Akira's village, and Shizuka explains that the tunnel is sealed because zombies from the city keep spawning, but she believes the village itself is safe. While Akira talks to her, an old man suddenly appears, chased by a zombified boar. The group rushes to help him, and Beatrix shoots the boar with her bow, saving the man. The old geezer introduces himself as Masaru, a carpenter. He explains that zombies are coming from the cities, forcing him to seek safety in the forest. As a carpenter, he chooses the woods because he can easily build a home or a treehouse. Masaru proudly shows them his treehouse, and Akira instantly falls in love with it as building a treehouse is one of his bucket list goals. Masaru says he has been alone in the forest for a while, but he doesn't mind as he isn't interrupted and zombies can't reach him because he can always build higher. While showing the treehouse, Akira offers to help him finish it. Shizuka suspects he's only doing it because it's on his bucket list, but Masaru accepts their help, and Akira becomes ecstatic. Masaru teaches Akira and Kincho how to build the perfect treehouse. He tells them they must understand the forest, and if they are ever unsure, they should ask the forest. He explains that if they learn to listen to it, they can become mindful and hear the voice of nature itself. Akira is amazed, as this old dude is like Gandhi, and the lesson feels profound, and he connects it to his own life, realizing something new about the world and himself. As they continue building, Masaru compliments Akira's skill, saying he reminds him of his son. When Akira asks about the son, the atmosphere turns sour. Masaru quietly reveals that his son was bitten by his wife, and he was forced to end them both. The memory makes Masaru lose balance, but Akira catches him and reassures him that he still has Akira's support. Together, they finish the treehouse. The group enjoys it for a few hours, but Akira shocks everyone by deciding to leave immediately instead of staying longer. He explains that he feels a strong urge to see his parents. Masaru understands and tells them he'll remain in the forest if they ever need him. The group parts ways and continues toward Akira's village. They reach the Hungry Gorge, the only remaining path since the tunnel is blocked. As they navigate the dangerous terrain, Akira tells stories about his hometown, and Beatrix remarks that it's an advantage since zombies would struggle to get through such a path. Eventually, they clear the obstacles and see Akira's village in the distance. As they walk closer, Akira's anxiety grows. He worries his parents will be disappointed, but he forces himself to stay positive, eager to see them again. When they arrive, the village looks empty, and Akira rushes around searching for his parents. Fear grips him, but to his surprise, the villagers are gathered in one house, drinking and celebrating. The moment they see him, someone shouts that Akira has returned. Akira looks at his father and expresses his gratitude for everything his parents have done for him. But his father walks over and hits him on the head, scolding him for coming all this way just to say something like that. He warns Akira to think more carefully, reminding him that the world is in chaos. Then he invites Akira's friends to stay for a while and goes back to work in his field. Shizuka is surprised, as she didn't expect Akira's father to act that way. At lunch, Akira's mother served them a simple meal, but they don't mind as they're all starving. She explains to Shizuka that their village is remote, which helps them survive winters and even the zombie apocalypse. She reveals that people from the city try to take refuge here, but some were infected and attacked others, forcing the villagers to barricade the tunnel. However, some survivors were allowed to stay and now live peacefully in the village. Beatrix grows excited and suggests Akira add renovating a home to his bucket list. Akira agrees it's a good idea, but reminds himself that his real reason for coming is to spend time with his family and repay his parents. After lunch, Akira's friends explore the village, enjoying its nostalgic atmosphere. Meanwhile, Akira tries to help his mother with chores, but but she insists on doing them herself, telling him to rest after his long journey. He sits and watches her, feeling both grateful and useless. Soon after, his father calls him to help in the field. Akira joins him and tries to start a conversation, but his father gives only short replies, and the silence frustrates Akira. When they finish, Akira realizes he's struggling to find a way to repay his parents. Then he notices his father wincing in pain as a small cut on his hand bleeds, and Akira senses that his father's health is failing. He helps him carry vegetables back to the village and spots a group of people arriving. Among them is a man Akira vaguely recognizes, and his father explains that the man came from the city, but Akira grows uneasy as they seem to be heading toward the tunnel. That man is Kei, who once lived in the city, unemployed after corporations refused to hire him. One day, while buying cigarettes, he saw a zombie devouring someone. Terrified, he ran only to discover the entire city overrun, but instead of despair, Kei felt liberated. For the first time, he was free to do whatever he wanted. He and others looted convenience stores and formed a group. Together, they created a list of 100 things to do before becoming zombies. But unlike Akira's list, Kei's group filled theirs with reckless and immoral acts, degenerate, selfish desires born from chaos and bitterness. Days later, Akira tries out dreadlocks as part of his list and calls himself a farmer dreadlock after Sakura styles his hair. Then they sit down together where Sakura reveals that she has been working in a salon for a decade. Nagisa and Ayumi are also there, and they reveal that they used to be a makeup artist and a teacher in Tokyo. Nagisa shows Akira that she used to do makeup for a zombie movie that Akira has watched before, and Nagisa says she should have worked on the sequel, but it got cancelled because the fake zombies turned into real zombies. Since then, Nagisa has been traumatized because she was attacked by real zombies, and she tells them the story of that terrifying moment. She starts crying, but Ayumi calms her, telling her that everyone has their own struggles getting to the village, and each day she lives there, she feels more grateful and wants to keep living in the village because they immediately accepted her. Nagisa is moved and feels calmer. Meanwhile, Shizuka is making rice in the kitchen when Tommy suddenly walks in on her, and is surprised that a girl like Shizuka can cook rice the traditional way. Tommy explains that cooking rice over fire is the best way because it makes the rice taste better. Shizuka learns something new and finds it the best way to cook rice in the zombie apocalypse. Suddenly, an old man hugs Shizuka from behind and tries to get freaky with her. Tommy immediately drags the man away and explains to Shizuka that he has always been like that since his wife died. Then a man walks in and asks Tommy for some bandages because he has sliced his hand while hanging. Shizuka tells him how to treat it better and more efficiently, surprising both Tommy and the man. Soon, word spreads that Shizuka understands medicine, which makes her famous in the village as a doctor, even though she has only learned from reading. Meanwhile, Kincho explores the village and comes across a cesspit. An old man explains that it is for fertilizer for their fields, and that a local myth says if someone jumps into it, they will become younger. Kincho refuses to try and asks who the sad little girl sitting with a dog is. The old man explains that the girl came from the city, lost her parents, and the dog is all she has left. Kincho goes to talk to her and tries to impress her with his juggling skills, and the girl asks if Kincho is clapped in the head, but Kincho says it is common courtesy to say hello to a girl, whether young or old. Then he tells her that in Italy, if a girl smiles, they have to compliment her as a courtesy. The girl laughs because she knows Kincho isn't from Italy, but she realizes he only wanted to make her smile. Kincho introduces himself to the girl, who introduces herself as Anju, but Kincho decides to call her Angie to feel closer to her. Meanwhile, Beatrix visits the water wheels that produce electricity for the village. She's fascinated by Japanese culture and finds the system ingenious. An old lady explains the fences to her, saying they protect the village from zombie boars and bears. The old lady also shows Beatrix an earth leakage circuit breaker and warns her never to touch it because it is dangerous. Later, Ayumi gives Akira and the others a pep talk about the connection between the villagers. She says that even though the village is limited, the closeness between people makes her happy, something city life could never offer. Akira is deeply moved by Ayumi's words and remembers them. At noon, while Akira works in the field, Kincho appears to encourage him. Then Kei walks by, and Kincho calls out to him. When Kei sees Akira, he immediately runs away. Akira doesn't recognize him, but Kincho reminds him that Kei used to be in their college class before he stopped showing up and became a crusty, disgusting shut-in. Kei is furious to see Akira and Kincho because of his bitter past with them. Then a wicked idea forms in his mind to trick Akira. That evening, Akira drinks with his father. Seeing it as a good chance to talk, he notices that his father looks older and smaller. Akira tells his father that he enjoys village life and wants to help with the family work, but his father tells him that a man should follow his biggest dream, which makes Akira furious because he wants to repay his parents. Then Akira realizes that his father never reached his own dream and asks what it was. His father says that when seen from space, Earth is small and he once dreamed of becoming an astronaut, but he was too dumb and too old. Akira laughs, realizing his father is joking, but then his father tells him the truth that the dreadlocks don't suit him at all, and they both laugh like father and son. At midnight, a girl breaks the circuit breaker with a chainsaw, smiling as she does it. At the same time, Kay and his friends release the zombies at the tunnel because Kay's bucket list includes destroying society and turning everyone he hates into zombies. While the villagers are drinking, Beatrix watches over the horses. Kincho plays with Unju, and Akira drinks with his father when zombies suddenly attack the village. Hearing the noise, Akira runs to the fields and sees part of the village in flames. His father tells him to save his friends while he goes to protect Akira's mother. Shizuka sees zombies approaching, but the hunting team manages to shoot several down before retreating because there are too many. Kay laughs maniacally, controlling the horde and completing more of his twisted bucket list, like firing a real gun. Shizuka can't believe that the village is burning and could be destroyed. Kincho carries Unju as zombies chase them, but Beatrix arrives, slicing through zombies with her katana to save them. Akira, Beatrix, Shizuka, and Kincho regroup, and Shizuka says they need to save the villagers. Kincho suggests escaping through the fence, but at high voltage. Beatrix insists it only shocks animals, but when Kincho tests it, he gets electrocuted. Beatrix realizes the villagers must have been wrong, and the circuit breaker is destroyed, meaning they are trapped. Suddenly, Kay and his friends arrive in a dump truck, laughing and enjoying the chaos. Akira realizes they caused it all, and Kay declares that before turning into a zombie, his bucket list is to ruin everything Akira loves because he always hated how happy Akira and Kincho could be. Shizuka is horrified by his reason, but Akira tells Kay that he respects his desire to do what he wants because he is doing the same. But Akira reminds him that if he wants to use his freedom, he must respect others' freedom too. Kay is stunned. Akira shows him his own unfinished bucket list and says he won't give up yet. Kay claims he hasn't finished his either, so they must complete theirs before the zombies get them. While they argue, Unju searches for her dog. Beatrix goes to try fixing the circuit breaker, but is followed by one of Kay's friends. Akira tells Shizuka that he needs to repay his parents, which he doesn't fully understand but emotionally relates to, after which Shizuka goes to help the villagers. Kincho notices Unju is missing and tells Akira he has to find her. Akira and Kincho part ways once again, promising to meet later. As the group splits up to chase their bucket lists, Kay orders his friends to do whatever they want, but most importantly to destroy Akira's hope and watch his village fall into chaos. While Kay controls the zombie horde, Akira fights through the swarm, determined to save his parents and repay them. Akira's parents are trapped inside a house with Nagisa and Ayumi, where his father nearly faints due to being sick. Meanwhile, Unju runs frantically through the village, searching for her dog. She finally finds it getting freaky with a chicken, but before she can react, Kincho appears and clamps a hand over her mouth, warning her that zombies are nearby and whispering that they have to stay cautious. Unju begins to cry, saying her dog is the only thing she has left. Kincho lifts her onto a nearby roof so the zombies can't reach them. Suddenly, Shijinobu appears and tells Kincho how miserable his life has been. Consumed by resentment, Shijinobu tries to push Kincho into the horde, but Kincho manages to hang on and fights back. Meanwhile, Beatrix reaches the water wheel, trying to stop it to save the village's power system, but Tuko appears and attacks her, boasting that she once won a fencing championship. Tuko breaks Beatrix's katana, but Beatrix quickly draws a spare blade and their fierce duel begins. Elsewhere, Shizuka tries to convince Sham and the other elders to flee with her, but they refuse, saying they are too old to walk fast. They tell her to leave them behind and save herself, but seeing the zombies surrounding the area, Shizuka decides to lure them away instead, acting without calculation for the first time. Inside the barricaded house, Akira's parents and the others remain trapped as the zombies close in. Suddenly, Akira bursts in, cutting down several zombies. While fighting, he shouts out everything he has always wanted to do for his parents. His father, hearing his words, is moved to tears. When Akira is about to be overrun, his father pulls him inside and tells him that if he truly wants to repay them, he should take care of his mother before leaving to sacrifice himself. Shijinobu's past flashes in his mind. He once had a married life that he found suffocating, and while his neighbor got promoted, he felt stuck and constantly compared by his wife. Every evening, he would escape to bars and internet cafes, blaming his wife for all his misfortunes. Naoki, on the other hand, once worked at a fancy restaurant, but his laziness made everyone despise him. Shizuka escapes from the zombies and hides in a field, but the new guy Naoki appears, and Singer is one of his bucket list goals. Horrified, Shizuka runs, but Naoki stops and curses his bad luck again for ruining his moment. Meanwhile, the original guy, Hiko, wakes up, sensing his wife's spirit guiding him. Beatrix and Tuko continue their intense fight. Tuko grows impressed by Beatrix's skill, but becomes impatient and revs her chainsaw, drawing zombies closer. Beatrix calls her evil, but Tuko, trembling with rage, begins ranting about her miserable past, and the more she remembers, the more violent her strikes become. Elsewhere, Kincho still struggles with Shijinobu. As Shijinobu rants about his wife, Kincho cuts him off, saying the truth that he is the problem, as he is nothing but a lousy husband who never appreciated his wife. Shijinobu snaps and shoves Kincho, but Kincho drags him down with him. Zombies close in and Shijinobu panics. Thinking fast, Kincho dives into the cesspit to hide, while Shijinobu, terrified, runs toward the fence and gets electrocuted. Cornered again, Shizuka braces to get kissed until Hiko rallies the old villagers to save her, shouting that they've survived harder things than zombies. Shizuka distracts Naoki by talking about how to change one's luck, which enrages him. He points a gun at her, but Hiko arrives in time and shoots the weapon from Naoki's hand. Shizuka gasps in relief, and Naoki charges again at her, but the elders rush in, knocking him unconscious out of respect for Shizuka's courage. As Naoki lies defeated, he still blames his bad luck. Shizuka tells him that luck only changes when behavior does, and turning to the elders, she thanks them, saying she's the lucky one to have them. Back with the duel of two baddies, Tuko shouts at Beatrix that people with twisted ideals deserve to be eaten by zombies. Beatrix fires back that Tuko's mindset is her own downfall, and her normal life is not universal. Tuko refuses to listen, but taking advantage of her rage, Beatrix lures the zombies toward the water wheel. As they swarm, she climbs atop it, using its motion to jam the mechanism and cut the power. The wheel crashes down, almost crushing Tuko. She dodges, shocked that she's been outmatched by a foreigner, but Beatrix leaves her behind, and the zombies devour Tuko where she stands. Meanwhile, Akira's father fights desperately outside the house, slashing at the zombies. Akira tries to open the door to help, but his father yells at him to keep it closed or they'll all die. Akira watches helplessly as his father fends off the undead. When only 3 remain, his father suddenly clutches his chest, his heart giving out, and he collapses, realizing his time has come, ready to die protecting his family. At that moment, Kei drives up in a dump truck, running over the zombies and saving Akira's father, but his intentions are dark. He smirks and tells Akira that he wants to see him become a zombie. Holding Akira's father hostage, Kei forces Akira into an impossible choice between saving his father or saving everyone else. When Kei was little, he had many friends and spent every summer day at pool parties. But as he grows older, his friends begin to notice that he is a natural introvert, and eventually they drift away, leaving him alone. For years, Kei has spent his time in solitude, whether at school or at home. When he enters college, he tries to change himself, doing everything he can to make friends, but everyone still sees him the same way as an introvert. One day, he becomes furious at the fact that he can't change, and then he spots Akira laughing joyfully with his friends. Envy burns inside him as Akira always seems happy, effortlessly surrounded by people. Now, in a twisted act of resentment, Kei holds Akira's father hostage, wanting to destroy the happiness he never had. Akira is cornered and unsure what to do. When he prepares to go out, his father forbids him, warning that opening the door could risk everyone's lives. Akira protests that he can't just sit back and watch his father die, but his father calmly reveals that his time is limited anyway. Confused, Akira learns from his mother that his father has been sick and even the doctors don't know how to cure him. Desperate, Akira insists that there must be a way to heal him so they can live as a family again. But his father smiles faintly and tells him that to truly repay them, Akira has to help humanity, and if Akira can do that one day, his father says that he will be proud even in death. Akira feels the weight of his father's words pressing down on him, remembering all the struggles of his friends and family. Meanwhile, outside, Kei waits impatiently for Akira to emerge. When Akira doesn't, Kei grows agitated, and just as he is about to throw Akira's father to the zombies, the front door bursts open. Kei and Akira's father are both shocked to see Akira appearing, apparently as a zombie. They shout in disbelief, calling him an idiot, and Kei bursts into hysterical laughter, claiming victory. He mocks Akira, saying that now he'll never enjoy life again. But Akira suddenly lunges forward and pulls Kei to the ground, stunning him. Kei freezes, as Akira was supposed to be a zombie. Then he realizes Akira has returned to human form, leaving him completely confused. Earlier, before saving his father, Akira had come up with a plan to disguise himself as a zombie. Nagisa, a skilled makeup artist, helps him pull it off. With his zombie cosplay complete, which is another item off his bucket list, Akira opens the door to lure real zombies inside. As they pour in, the girls fight them off, giving Akira the chance to act and save his father. While everyone worries about Akira's father, Kei mocks Akira, saying his plan has failed, but Kei's knees begin to tremble. Akira then quietly asks him what his true bucket list is. Kei hesitates, memories flashing back of him, and his friends swimming in the public pool under the sun laughing. He confesses that all he wanted was to relive that memory one last time. Akira tells him he's a fool for doing such evil things when he could have shared that joy with them instead. When Kei once watched Akira laughing with his friends, Akira had actually invited Kei to join them for lunch, but being shy, Kei ran away. They looked at him strangely, everyone except Akira, who didn't judge him. Suddenly, in the present, Kei is bitten by a zombie. Furious, he crushes the creature, but the infection spreads. He begins to cry as the virus seeps into his mind, but before he fully changes, Akira hugs him and says that if he ever becomes a zombie, he wants to swim together with him in a pool like a couple of homies. Kei blushes, embarrassed, and runs away, forcing Akira to let him go. Kei runs through the wilderness, chased by zombies, until he reaches a river. There he spots the same public pool from his childhood. As he stares at it, he sees a zombified Akira already floating inside, and remembering Akira's words, Kei steps into the water to join him, keeping their promise. Meanwhile, Akira reaches the fences where the villagers are gathered. Just like his friends, he's confused by Kincho's dirty and stinky appearance, and Shizuka reminds him that zombies were chasing them. Everyone panics, unsure how to escape past the fence. Suddenly, Beatrix arrives, riding a massive water wheel. She can't stop it, crashing through the fence and opening the way for everyone to flee. Akira leads the group toward a suspension bridge, only to find a bridge missing. All hope seems lost until Masaru appears, throwing Akira a replacement bridge. Akira and Kincho hold the bridge steady while everyone crosses. When the zombies nearly reach them, the two men leap together to the other side. Shizuka and Beatrix fear they've fallen, but to their surprise, Akira and Kincho cling to the ropes, pulling themselves up to safety. As they climb, Akira tells Kincho that Kei just wanted friends. Kincho calls Kei a fool for doing evil things, but Akira insists that anyone could end up like him, including himself, who nearly lost himself once to the emptiness of his office job. Once back on solid ground, Akira's father praises him for saving the entire village, completing another of Akira's bucket list dreams. Days later, the villagers close the tunnel filled with zombies and begin rebuilding. Under Masaru's leadership, construction progresses quickly. Tommy thanks Shizuka for helping the elders regain hope and continue living. Kincho and Unju rebuild the fences together, and Kincho notices that Unju seems like a new person. She tells him she's done crying over zombies because someone finally made her smile, thanking the next Kevin Hart, Kincho, for cheering her up. That evening, Akira attends to his sick father. His mother tells him that his father has always worried about him, not because of the zombie apocalypse, but since the day Akira left for Tokyo. Overcome with emotion, Akira promises that if anything happens, he'll take care of his mother in the village. Then his mother reveals the truth that his father only has hemorrhoids. The group is stunned by the stupid illness, and Akira bursts out laughing in relief. Still smiling, he remembers his father's advice to dream big. Suddenly, Akira stands and announces that he's leaving the village to travel across the country to save the world and cure his father's hemorrhoids. His friends are shocked, but his father beams with pride at his son's big dream. Akira writes a new entry in his bucket list of curing his dad's hemorrhoids. Then he invites everyone to add their own dreams. The group crowds around, scribbling new goals for their next adventure, bringing a proud smile to Akira's parents. The next morning, Akira and his friends say their goodbyes. Shizuka reminds Hiko she's not his wife. Unju cries and tells Kincho to return soon, and Akira's mother hands him cooked seaweed so he won't starve on the road. Before leaving, Akira's father promises to take care of his wife, making Akira smile. As they depart, Akira suggests heading north where many survivors are rumored to be, while others joke about going to America to make the vaccine. Days pass as they fight zombies and encounter other survivors. Instead of searching immediately for a cure, they take time to sightsee, laugh, and enjoy their journey. And so for their next destination, Akira and his friends set their sights on Hokkaido.